let's go. Let's jump in the boat. Let's go for a fish.
No.
Nah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Deep Drop. This is a fishing podcast, and it's good to have you back if you've been with us for a while. It's been a journey. We're well into the hundreds now, Ad. The bat got raised some time ago, and we keep on trucking along. Adam Ring, Luke McCredden here. And Adam, what is the Deep Drop all about if, in fact, you might be new here?
Well, when you think the deep drop, you generally think about, say, fishing for swords. So the deep drop is kind of like that form of fishing. On any given drop, you could get anything. It could be awesome. You could get a blue eye or a sword. You could bust the brick off halfway down and it just be an absolute, balls up of emission. You could actually hook something and get halfway up and lose it, so it goes from hero to zero real quick.
Yeah, you could hook a thresher or a mako, which you'd be happy with, but not what you're there for.
Yeah, that's right. So I think that's exactly what we are. Depending on the question, any of those things could happen. Sometimes multiple happen on the one drop. Yeah,
you could also get right down to the zone where you want to be, and a cooter bites you off at the swivel.
Yeah, as you're about to trace the fish. So there's all sorts of goodness. I think that sums up the deep drop because we can make you laugh and make you cry all in the same question, and that's how we roll. And I wouldn't change a thing about it, Luke.
Love that. I love that. That's not a bad. I think that's one of the better summations we've had of the deep drop so far. But
it's
always interested to hear what you guys think, and if. Actually, that's not a bad one. I'd like to put it to the listeners to maybe write a blurb. Like if you've been a listener for a while, just we'll read it.
We'll read them out.
If you've got a concept of what it could be like, that will help because we need help sometimes explaining it.
I guess we've been explaining what the deep drop is for over 100 episodes now, and I'm not going to lie, I'm running out of shit to dribble when it comes to what this podcast is about.
But that's just it, though, isn't it? It's just not. There isn't a definitive of answer. If we did, and we had 100 odd versions of the same thing, it's kind of that's what we have tried to avoid from day one, really, without really trying. Because effectively what this is just you and I catching up on a weekly basis to talk shit about fishing.
That's what happens. That's what happens.
Which is fun. And look, I'm not going to lie. I'm loving the fact that we're balls deep in daylight savings now, Ads, and it just means... And yes, we've had some shitty weather in the southern part of the country and rain, wind through the roof. But there is light. There is light at the end of this tunnel. And we've seen some pockets, some warmth.
Oh, yeah.
Mid to high 20s this week.
Love it. Bring that on.
But then it dips down to mid-teens again just to slap us in the face and say...
Forget about that.
Just to say, hey, reality. But thank you, everyone, for getting involved again this week. Instagram is a place that you can always reach us. Plenty of messages, plenty of videos coming through, which we love. So get involved. Find the Deep Drop, the bright green logo on Instagram. And hit us up. For whatever you're thinking, whatever's on your mind. Sometimes we get messages, Adam, that is just someone, I feel like they're just getting something off their chest. And that's okay.
And that's fine, because we get a few things off our chest in this pod too. So it's only fair that if you've got a fishing issue or a fishing non-issue and you just need to say it out loud, Instagram's where you need to go. Deep Drop, as you said, Luke, the bright green logo, it's hard to miss. Fire off your questions.
If you want to do a voice message... and you're happy for it to be played on the show, I'm completely open to it. I have no issue with playing a voice message on the show. In fact, I encourage it. So let's hear it. More often the better. Now, I'm going to just get straight into this because it's like I feel like we've been hijacked a little bit by management over the last few weeks, Ads.
No comment.
No, you've been in this. You have had the crosshairs on you a little bit. Yeah. Right. I mean, interrupted last week with phone call. I got in touch this week and I said, hey, listen, just if you got anything to say or give to us, just I don't know, email.
Send it an email.
Yeah. Or at least So, funnily enough, I got into the studio and again had no idea there was an answering machine in the studio, but there was, and there were a couple of missed calls and messages. So I just thought, well, I haven't even looked at it because it's just sitting here flashing. So if it's all right with you, we'll just play it and hear from them, get it over and done with, see what's up. All right, here we go. So I'll just get the
Yeah, g'day guys, just phoning it in. I'm on vacation at the moment in Santiago in Chile.
Chile?
I just thought,
Where did he find a tape deck?
Excuse
Yeah,
the background noise, guys. It's fucking loud
He's on
here,
the
that's for
street.
sure. Hey, listen, I just wanted to make sure you guys are talking about the merch while I'm away. Don't forget the merch. Righto, I'll try and phone in and see if I can get a hold of you later. Bye.
Well, there you go. Interesting. Santiago in Chile. I mean, that's random, but okay.
Doesn't seem like a very relaxing getaway.
It sounded a bit They don't seem it doesn't seem the type to anyway, whatever. But fair call, merch. We should jump onto that. The deepdrop.au is the website, Adam. All the episodes live there. There's a bit about us, which whatever. But the most important thing that's on there is, of course, the merch, the cap and the stubby holder ads.
It's the greatest combo that you will gift anybody.
What a combo.
Going into the Christmas season. I'm currently sipping a nice cold beverage out of my bright green deep drop stubby holder.
Yeah.
It's got all the things you need to know, both website and also Instagram handle, which, let's face it, that's really all you need to know when it comes to... Because between those two, we take care of the rest.
Yeah.
So jump on over to Insta. You can keep up to date. Jump across to the website. You can grab your combo merch, but you can also... listen. You listen. Go back through the archives of the Deep Drop. Like we said, over 100 episodes in now.
Yeah.
Go and have a listen. We've covered quite a few things.
Yeah.
Some things serious, some things not. But it's good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Great call. Just on the drink, but if you take that out of that stubby holder, does the sort of the flavour and taste just dissipate a bit? It's just not the same?
I've found since getting the first drop of these... I can't. There's no point drinking without having it in that. It's kind of like, you remember when the early stages of COVID, you lost all your senses or your smell and taste and stuff. Yeah, this is like the cure for that. It's like MSG. It just enhances everything.
Okay, great. I like that. All right, so there's another reason to get yourself over to the deepdrop.au and grab a cap and stubby holder combo, and we will post that out free postage, I believe.
Free postage.
So there you go. There is one more message on the answering machine. Should we do it, or do we just let it sit there and pretend we never saw it?
I feel as though we're on a good run, but hit it.
All right, let me just press that.
Yeah, guys, I don't know if you can hear me.
What?
Just at a nightclub in Santiago.
Oh my god!
Called Dropping a Pinger.
Dropping a Pinger.
Anyway, I just wanted to make sure that you guys are on track. And look, I love the fish you've been catching over the weekend, Adam. I'm assuming, you're still struggling. But Luke, great job out there, mate. Loving it. All right, I'll let you go. See you, boys. Whoa!
Oh my god! I don't think either of us expected to come in here tonight to hit a message on an answering machine from Chile at a nightclub. Wow, that's new. That is new.
If it wasn't for the location at which we received that message, and the fact that I listened to a message that's on an old tape deck that goes into
I know
an old school answering machine.
Yeah, everything's analog here.
I maybe would have got offended
Yeah.
by his cheeky dig. But you know what? He was on pingers. He doesn't really know what's going on.
Well, I don't know if he said he was, but the nightclub was called.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, listen, I don't know what you've done, and I don't know what's happened in the background between you and management here at the Deep Drop Studios, but there's something going on there, mate. There's digs
let's
at
just
you
say
for the last few
not-
weeks.
Yeah, we're not vibing too well at the moment, management and myself. It's okay. It's I feel as though it's
because I'm assuming
still in control.
Yeah, okay. I'm assuming you got the 6-pack and the box of chocolates over the weekend, just as a thank you.
Well, mine must have got lost in the mail,
Oh,
Luke,
shit,
because
that's awkward.
No, I'm drinking from my own 6-pack, and
because I'm getting a lot of love. I'm feeling a lot of love from management, and I don't want to. I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm just saying.
No, well, listen. You deserve the love. You do it. You do a lot for the Deep Drop.
Well, no, but I mean, it's an all-in type situation. I'm just feeling a lot of resentment towards you for some reason.
That's okay. We'll let management just enjoy his
Getaway.
Santiago
No, I mean, is that
holiday. Most random.
But also, is that a company paid trip? Like, are we paying for that? Like, what's, you know what I mean?
Well, let's just see. If he submits a few receipts on the way back, we'll be looking for new management because I'll have to put my foot down. But
Yeah, all right.
yeah, it's all right. I'll catch up with him when he gets back.
Yeah, he did.
We'll see.
He did send me a message. I did get out for a fish on Sunday morning. Actually, it was a beautiful morning. I don't think it was predicted to be as nice. It was breezy, but it was fine. So I ducked out nice and early, which was good. It felt good. It felt right. It wasn't freezing cold. You know what I mean? There was a bit of you know, a bit of mild sort of temperature getting around at 7 a.m., which is always nice. I'm excited about some of the flathead and whiting fishing in Port Phillip at the moment because, in a couple of hours session, I had no trouble finding good chunky flathead, really well conditioned King George whiting, full of food, spitting it all up as they were coming up. So that was really promising for the summer months ahead.
I'm not excited about it at all, Luke, because that's now 3 people between you, Didge.
Yeah.
That's
hammering you with photos.
Yeah. So between
Sorry,
you,
I didn't even think about that.
Between you, Didge, and Dina, I've seen so many whiting caught on soft plastics and all, and I'm the only moron out there trying to catch a snapper on plastics. But I didn't fish on the weekend.
No.
Week on with the kids, so that was okay. Running around with them, which was great. But I'm ready. I'm telling myself every week, Luke, that the whiting haven't started yet. That they'll be there later on.
Yeah, which they will.
But it's getting bloody hard. Because
No, but it's good. The good thing is it is a bit of it was a bit of a. I know there's plenty of people catching some nice whiting, but it was still a bit of a trial session for myself. Even just, I suppose let's call it to kick off that sort of season of whiting for myself. And I don't like using the season term, so I think they get thrown around too much.
Yeah,
but,
especially whiting, they're all year round now.
But more just for myself, like getting into that groove of the spring summer whiting fishing for myself. So that was kind of good. I wasn't sure whether they'd be few and far between and pick one up here, pick one up there, but it was on. And to be honest, the only roadblock was some of the flathead that were getting in the way, which wasn't bad.
Well, some of the information that you gave on via Instagram in those videos during the week, I've got questions, Luke. Yeah. I've got so many questions.
Fire away. I mean, here's the time. Now's the time, my friend.
Now's the time.
Let's do this.
So I'll start with a serious one.
Okay.
You mentioned that they were spewing up worm.
Yeah.
Okay, this is really interesting because I cast my mind back to when we had John Didge on the pod.
Yeah.
And he was talking us through the different types of worm and the worm spawn that happens over that side of the bay on the Ballerine where you guys have been fishing in it. And it got me thinking because we always see, if we're going to see whiting caught on soft plastics on social media, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Instagram, they all tend to come from your side of the bay. I wonder if I took, or you come over, and we took a couple of packs of turtleback worms to somewhere like Portsea or Sorrento, or to Frankston or Beaumaris Bay, or I've got a couple of spots in Western Port that I want to try get them in the yak.
Yeah.
I wonder if we would have the same success on King George whiting in those other areas.
In those other spots, yeah.
Or is it because it is so thick with that worm over your way?
Yep.
If that's the key.
Maybe. I think you'd get them. Any like, do you know what I mean? I think they would eat it, whether or not, because might be a bit foreign. If that is as different as John told us on the show that night, you know, as far as it being a real localised to that Corio Bay sort of area, yeah, maybe it would be a bit too foreign for some of those whiting in Western Port or on the Mornington Peninsula. But I still think you'd get them. I've got a plan B for some of those areas. Another one I've got for you. You are the only person I've ever seen
fishing for King George whiting on soft plastics with no stinger. Talk me
Yeah.
through it.
I just... How do I say this?
Can't be bothered,
No. Do you know what? And this
or don't need it.
I don't think you need it. And listen, I reckon you would... Well, I know, because I've fished with people that use them. You typically get a few more hookups. I wouldn't say double. I don't think it doubles your hookup rate, but you get a few more because the whiting will come and suck that worm in, and they'll start at the back. And the first fish I got for the day the other morning didn't even play around with it. It was bang and it was on. It just woofed the whole thing. Like it was probably one of the chunkier ones I got for the morning, and it was. So there's a bit of another part of it that I think is you tend to get bigger fish, or the ones you get that want it, they'll want it. And they'll really eat it, and they're aggressive towards it. I don't know. I think stingers kind of like training wheels a little bit. I don't want to sound like an asshole when I say that, because they're a great way to introduce yourself to doing it. Because you'll get more hookups. You also pick up fucking those little salmon and stuff like that as well. So I don't want any of that shit. Nah, but I think I don't. I haven't. I've never used stingers. But they're a good option if you want more hookups, probably. But I also love the challenge, and it frustrates the shit out of you every time because you'll get some fish that play with it as soon as it hits the water, right back to the boat, and you know what I mean. So, but again, I think the ones that want it will eat it, and it'll be no drama.
Another thing I noticed: coloured jighead.
Yeah,
talk me through it.
Oh well. There's no science in this, by the way. So I've been using these coloured TT jig heads for, I don't know, for the last few months, really. And whether it's for fishing for perch in the river, silver trevally, or whiting or flat. I don't know. I've just been using them, and they're not working. You know what I mean? Am I catching more fish? I don't know. I can't tell.
The reason I asked is because I've recently discovered that in the tournament scene, coloured jigheads are, and I think especially in the bass tournaments, a lot of anglers are using coloured jigheads.
Yeah.
We've seen...
And we had a bit of that feedback when we asked the question on the show and then on Instagram, and people were, in that tournament scene, or people would noticed it in the tournament scene a bit, so...
Yeah, so coloured jigheads, I wouldn't say there's been a huge influx of them. And it's not a new thing. There's always been powder-coated and painted jigheads. But I don't know. I think I've got half an eye on the coloured jighead thing because I'm intrigued. It'd be interesting to see if there's any difference.
Yeah. Well, the other thing for me, and this is just a real simpleton view of it, but the green sort of, I suppose, camo green type colour jig head that I'm using at the moment with a pumpkin seed turtleback worm just looks really cool.
It looks like it's meant to be. I'll pay that. I'll pay that.
But I've got a few. So I've got, some of the other colour options too, but I keep going to that green for some reason because even in, with the multitude of colours, whether you're fishing little paddle tails or little flickies or something in the rivers, they kind of work with a lot of different plastic colours. So as far as like the colour rate, and again, fish might not like it, but I do. I think it's
I think it looks awesome as well. So I'm all in.
But like I said, it's not as if I've gone out there and not caught a thing and thought, well, shit, maybe I need to go back to just no colour. You know what I mean? So it's is the success rate improving? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, write this down. When you and I go and tackle the whiting together.
Yeah.
And listen, we might not this year or this season, I should say, because it might take me that long to catch a snapper.
But management got in your head a bit, like you feel like you need to catch one now just to shove it up management.
I'm digging the heels in. They will not defeat me, Luke. Yes. They will not defeat me. But when we go, we are going to both grab a pack of turtlebacks.
Yeah.
And one of us needs to be using coloured jig head, one not.
Yeah.
And let's just see what happens. The other thing I noticed and want to throw out there to you, it was clearly stated that there is no other soft plastic for King George whiting.
Mate.
than turtleback worms.
No, name one.
I challenge you to find the other one.
I'm sure that
because this is insane, and I'm an idiot. I have absolutely no place to be saying anything about anything because I've never caught a King George whiting on soft plastic. But I refuse to believe that a friggin' turtleback worm is the only way to catch them.
Oh no! Listen, I'm just so obsessed with them. I just think they are so fucking deadly. They just work every time, and I have no doubt in my mind that there are other plastics that you'll get them on. And I'm certainly not saying that there is nothing else that will work. Well, maybe I am saying. Maybe I literally said that.
It sounded like
but it's more like, how can one soft bait be so good? And obviously, there's a lot to it. There's the shape and the size and even the colours are so relevant to that area. But man, because it's not just them. Like you fish those turtleback worms in estuaries, and bream are all over them.
Yep.
Perch are all over them.
Snapper all over.
We had a tough session on estuary perch recently, and I put one of them on and caught one instantly, and I went, fuck. It's crazy.
Well, this is what.
I will. So to your point, so that was session 1. I literally used a pack of 4-inch pumpkin seed turtleback worms. Emptied the pack. That was great, perfect. Didn't touch another style or anything. But I definitely will. I've got some. I literally had some with me from some Z-Man plastics that I thought these might do the trick, but I didn't open another packet. There was just no need at that time.
I guess where I'm going with this, because I am getting to a point. It's taking me a long time.
A crescendo.
I'm getting there.
We've got time.
I'm trying to learn before I even do it. It's just how my stupid brain works.
I love how your brain works with this stuff.
No
one takes a deeper dive on the product than you. I've said that before. I love it. It's great. It's a superpower.
I can't help it. But what I'm trying to work out theoretically, I'm really mentally obsessed with is what we're talking about through matching the hatch. It's the same old story. We've heard it a million times. We're taught it as kids as we're coming up through fishing, and we're learning match the hatch, match the hatch, match the hatch.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work out if your area of Port Phillip Bay is unbelievably unique. Because the early signs to me, it's not a coincidence that we haven't seen King George whiting caught anywhere else on soft plastics than your area of the bay. And I wonder if it's because Corio Bay offers a unique environment with a unique spawn of these worms. And I'm not saying it's the only place where these worms spawn. It's not. But you've got obviously a huge area and a preferred area for spawning these worms. You've already got a really healthy population of King George whiting, which you've always had. That's not new. I'm fascinated to see what the deal is. I want to know if King George whiting are so honed in on a worm in your area that it makes them susceptible to being caught on soft plastics, or I can take other soft plastics to other areas, whether that's using nipper-style plastics or colours in Western Port and Inverloch.
Yep.
Whether that's maybe using crab-style plastics, even cranker crabs in some other places, again, if they're on that sort of shell, sort of a bottom.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to work out. I want to know if there is something insanely unique about your area which is making it a thing, and if you want to catch a King George whiting on soft plastic, which I sincerely hope everybody does. I said, I will do it. I promise you I'll do it. I promise. I can't wait to do it.
Yeah. But I would definitely say don't wait to do it over here. Like do it on your side.
Oh, no. I'm going to be part of...
I'm not saying I don't want you over here, mate. Don't take it personally, but...
Management's getting...
Stay in your lane. No. Because they will. You'll get. Yeah, I'd be confident using them on the Mornington Peninsula for sure.
Oh no, I would be too. I think there's enough runs on the board to say that if you want to work it out, start with a turtleback worm.
Yeah. Oh,
Way too many runs on the board. Way too many. It doesn't matter where you live, whatever. But it seems it's just a little bit. I won't say strange because I think we're still in the beginning of King George whiting on lures, but we just don't see any King George whiting caught from anywhere else except over your side of the bay on turtleback worms. I'm just trying to create a really big puzzle, and I've lost a lot of pieces.
No, someone's just wiped their hand over the table and pushed them onto the floor. Oh, because one of the other things that they had a bit crunched up in their mouth, and also when I was cleaning them, noticed a lot of little pippies, like small, and sand grit and stuff. So you could tell that they're churning through some of those shellfish and whatever. But I always take with me, because I've just got them in my whiting kit, the Asakura. Am I saying that right? The clammers.
Yep.
And I'm like, I've never used them. I've always got them with me, and I'm like, I'm gonna chuck one around one
That's
day.
An interesting one.
But because I just thought it when you mentioned the cranker crabs, I thought, well, same sort of vein. Like I'm interested to know, because the reason I don't, and people jump in here and jump on Instagram and give us your thoughts as we're on this topic, but ultimately the clammer to us looks like a pippy. Cool, yeah, no worries, and I'm sure it does underwater. But ultimately, it's a vibe, right? So you've got to fish it like a vibe, and I just the confidence
might be too aggressive.
Maybe the confidence in fishing a vibe for King George whiting, mate. I don't know. Like, it could be unbelievable, but I just don't. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I'd love to know if anyone's done it. I know obviously the brim, and that sort of thing, they've been effective, but whiting. I mean, even on hard bodies, I just think that.
I think hard bodies is going to be hard work.
Tough,
because I think the key from just thinking about it and talking to you about it and Didge, and I think there is a technique. You can't just go and wave a plastic around like you can for, say, flathead or pinkies or salmon, and it sounds like you've got to be pretty honed in there, and there is a successful technique. I'm not saying there's an only technique, but there seems to be a pretty rock solid way in which to try and get them.
And like with anything too, the technique can change from day to day. Like I was only thinking about this while fishing, because I went through a few drifts and didn't get too many bumps, and I just stopped for a minute and thought, I reckon I'm working this pretty hard and fast. So I just slowed everything down. I think I was excited. So I slowed everything down. The minute I slowed it all down, bang, like they were back. Like, yeah, I just for a brief period of 10, 20 minutes was just trying to work them too hard. And not consciously, but you just, you know what I mean? You're just doing it. And then you go, all right, let's just stop for a sec, slow it down, and away it goes. But other times, mate, you can almost be cranking them across the bottom and they'll just get smashed. So it's not, that's what I mean, like, it's the same as brim and snapper and everything.
Yeah, they can do different.
They're all in different moods, like
Yeah.
But it was great. So it was a good way to kick off that account for this, like I said, this spring summer campaign.
I love it. I love it so much.
And seeing some nice chunky flatties in the mix is great too. I love that.
Don't care, bycatch, whatever.
Yeah, but geez, they taste good, mate.
Oh, they do taste good.
We had a good feed. Baked them all. Just baked them all. And
would you rather eat them than King George whiting?
No, I'm going to say no.
Rather King George?
Yep. Yeah. That's a puzzler, because do you know what? And I'm far from a chef.
Oh, same. This is why this is going to be a really interesting conversation, because I've got
really
thoughts
bad
too.
one. When I cook King George whiting or prepare it, I feel like if I use some some seasoning or whatever it is. I hope there's a chef listening going, what the fuck are you talking about?
Instagram's where you need to go, chef.
But I feel like it responds better on whiting. I don't know what it is, whether the whiting flesh is more.
I have a theory.
Okay, please take it from me, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Listen, I might cop a bit of heat for what I'm about to say.
Oh, well, let's hear it.
I would love to know if people agree or disagree. Are whiting that good to eat because they don't have much flavour, so they're not offensive?
Well, can I say this? I dished up flathead and whiting, and my wife, who is way more intelligent than I am, said the whiting tastes more like the ocean. And I went, that makes sense. Like, it makes sense. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I'm like, to your point, you might be bang on.
It's got no flavour, so I think that's why it likes your spices
and stuff. Yeah,
because it actually gives it a flavour. It's such a non-offensive fish.
Yeah, it's not offensive.
That's
at
why
all.
it's good to eat. Whereas flathead tend to have a little bit more flavour. Now, whether that's a flavour that you like or not, it can be a little bit more fishy. It can be a little bit sweeter. It can be, but it's got a flavour.
I reckon we've said this at least 30 times during the last 108 episodes. We should get a seafood specialist on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then ask this shit and they'll go, I got to go, guys.
Yeah, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Because it would be interesting to hear, because there's all obviously, recipes and all sorts of shit they do with fresh seafood and whatever. That's cool. But if you just broke it down and said, if you just cooked them with nothing, like, are there stark differences, whether it's a snapper or a whiting or a fucking silver trevally? Like, I feel like silver trevally are one of the most flavoursome fish locally.
Well, even just that question, to get the answer from the chef, I think the more you need to dress it up, obviously the more shit the fish is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, is there, what's something that you really need to pay a little bit of attention to, and what's something where you really don't have to do anything? Because
you could take the shittest fish into a hatted restaurant and it would be amazing.
And even if it doesn't matter what it is, if you're not confident, just roll the bastard in flour and deep fry it, and it's all, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be edible, but...
Yeah.
What would you need to do to some of our favourite species? Actually, if you're a chef who's handy with this stuff, please reach out, because I would love to have you on the pod. And let's just talk about no recipes and stuff like that. It's going to be too complicated. We want to know what fish you don't have to work hard for to have a good feed.
And is there like a unwritten sort of rule amongst the hospitality and the chefs and the cooks in because they've got their own sort of world that no one knows about.
Yeah.
We sit here going, flathead whiting, the best. Is there one that we just don't even talk about? And they go, mate, what do you talk about? This is the best fish.
I reckon there's heaps that we would know about. We just don't give a shit about.
Yeah, because did I tell you, and I can't remember when I got back from, remember that WA trip I did, fish the Abrolhos, and we were catching snapper, which are exactly the same as our snapper here, but they taste so much better over there because of what they're eating.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So they reckon that they're feeding on crayfish and stuff. So all of a sudden the flesh in a snapper from there was like, oh my God, it's so much better. So there's elements to that, but I'd be, okay, chefs. And if you don't have to be a chef, but if you know one, put us on to someone.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about old mate who gets out the Weber and whips up a
or
slab
just deep
of
fries
flake. No. No, we want a restaurant.
Someone who knows their way around it.
Yeah.
Because we've got questions.
We've got questions. Okay. All right, good. Let's work on that. Chefs. Seafood chefs. Are there seafood, are there specific ones, or are they just one hat fits all, pardon the pun?
If they're confident, in the kitchen with fish,
bring it on. You're on. Okay, good one. All right. Well, that's good. Hey, the other day, and I just wanted to. Listen, I've got a plan with what I'm about to say. We're going to there's a couple of people I've got lined up that are going to talk to us in depth about this particular topic because I'm fascinated by it, and it's not something I've done. It's not something you've done, but fishing the impoundments for Barra up north, right? We've spoken loosely about over the journey as well, but at the moment there's been some competitions, and with some fucking really good anglers, like it's proper. But what I only discovered recently is it's all at night. All these comps kick off late in the afternoon and they fish through till midnight or longer. And just straight off the bat, I thought, that's fascinating. It's a slog. Like you're out there, middle of the night, trying to catch, and no small fish. Like they're all,
Even the small ones are big.
the small ones are, yeah, that's right, fat.
It's like, yeah, the small ones are 75.
Yeah, 80s, 90s, and then like buck 20s, like heaps of them. Like far out. Anyway, but I found, because the person you work for, who heads up Rapala Australia, just won the title at, where was it? Tinaroo, which is famous for
Big
monsters.
Time.
Like
Shout out
big
to Timmy
fish.
Morgan.
Timmy Morgan.
Well fished, mate. Well fished.
Absolutely.
Tip of the cap to you.
There's 3 days of comp, and it's like 4 till midnight or something, and I'm getting these wrong, but this is just loosely that they fish, so it's a nighttime thing. But then the last day is like 4 in the arvo till 7 in the morning. Far out. And again, Olympics.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Massive
I know exactly
event.
what you're saying. Why
That's
would
the
it
marathon.
not be in there?
That's the marathon.
Correct.
Far out. Anyway, so I just found that fascinating. And my plan is to get Timmy or one of these guys, Mick Starkey, shout out to you. You do it a heap too. So I find this fascinating. You've got to be wired a certain way because it's legit. So it's not just getting out there and, chucking around some baits. Like it's proper fucking, which I love it. But it kind of got me thinking, because clearly the tactic with that, or the reason for that, is that they feed and bite more during those dark after hours periods. And I'm like, what other fish species do fish better at night? Now, we've spoken to you and you've answered passionately about beach fishing at night, and you have retired. From here on in, you'll never
be in the Olympics.
No, it won't be. You'll never step foot on sand in the evening with a rod in your hand, is what I think you were quoted saying.
Pretty accurate.
And fair enough. But are there species out there that are better? I won't say feeders, because we know, but are more, or is a better time to catch them at night?
Well, I think there's a clear one. Your favourite species of all time.
My favourites, gummy shark.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, shout out. We did get a couple of people message through going, still loving my gummy fishing. Thanks for taking the piss, but definitely still a favourite. Western Port, and from all accounts, plenty of them around. So it was good. It was actually a good couple of messages. But yeah, that's fair. That's probably one that comes to mind.
So,
Dewey's, Mulloway?
Yeah, Mulloway,
nah?
Good one. No, yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, no?
I reckon that'd be on the list of better fished at night time.
Okay.
I wonder though, are they predominantly nocturnal feeders, or is it just because it's quieter?
Yeah, not bad. Don't know.
What
But
would
I mean, that could be the case for several species.
What would you put snapper into?
Great call.
Because we're in a very...
Jesus Christ, they're catching the shit out of them at night at the moment in Western Port.
They are. Well, this is also another interesting thing. We are in a really weird spot when it comes to snapper, because I would say Western Port is a legitimate nighttime snapper fishery. I wouldn't say Port Phillip Bay is.
Nah, well, Port Phillip Bay, you get the fucking sea lice and shit.
Fair.
I think the way I just said that sums up how everyone feels about Port Phillip at night.
Sea lice can...
Remember that period that we went through where people were getting their legs chewed off by sea lice? Remember that?
That's some thick sea lice.
Okay, not chewed off, but remember there was people in the water like doing an arvo dip or something, and they were getting fully munched into by sea lice. They were coming out all looking like
That seems
scabbed
like
up and
something
shit.
from a friggin'
Up around St Kilda and that.
That's no good.
St Kilda, I mean, was it? Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. Were they sea lice or ice addicts?
So, anyway, I don't know. So I think that's a fair call. Location based is very much a factor.
But would you say snapper are better targeted at night? I don't know if I'd go that far.
Nah, I don't. I think if you got down to it and you said, okay, again, let's use some locations because snapper are everywhere. WA, we've got some listeners from WA. Let us know, guys. Are they better to target at night if you want to catch bigger fish or just more fish, or is it a daytime thing? Well and truly, Western Port at the moment, night absolutely.
Especially
not even at the moment. Like throughout the years, like there's been some thumpers caught late at night.
Yeah.
Port Phillip, yeah, no, probably not so much. But up the New South Wales mid-north coast, don't know. Let us know.
What about...
I don't think anyone has a problem catching them during the day. I think that's probably a fair... So going back to the barra in these impoundments, I think they're legitimately really difficult to get a bite out of them during the day.
During the day, yeah. And again, I wonder if...
Murray cod? Again, impoundment?
Oh, yeah, true. Especially in the winter.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. That's up there with beach fishing.
I just feel like cod are sitting there sometimes going, hey, guys, don't bite the lure until it's the middle of winter, 2 a.m, and at least -7 out there.
Let's
fuck with these guys.
Yeah. But again, I wonder... Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. But what about the species that, by the look of them, they tell us they should be night feeders, but we don't fish for them at night? And the
Bass.
Aussie bass and estuary perch. Eyes at the top of the head, really big eyes.
Yeah.
They've got nocturnal feeders written all over them. We don't really fish for them at night. I mean, you and I have done a little bit land-based, but...
Bit. I think the thing with that is if you sit by a river long enough, and I don't know, maybe it is all through the night as well, but certainly as that sun dips down, you hear them.
Oh, yeah.
They're definitely feeding.
Awesome. Yeah.
But are they better? Yeah. But then there's ones where you go, well, how many people are actually fishing for them at night? Things like trout. They could be a way better fish to target at night.
Is it just me, or do trout seem like a species that would go to bed? Like it would start getting dark and they go, yeah, we're done here, fellas. It's going to hop in, I think, and just do fuck all.
All right, let's call it a night.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm knackered. I'll see you in the morning.
Did you get a few moths of Savo?
Yeah, getting a bit lethargic though. I think I might just go and sit on a gravel bed for a few hours.
That's so good. I think that's so accurate.
They just seem like a fish that would go to bed.
Yeah. And wear pajamas. Like, you know what I mean? Like it'd be the full kit.
Oh, they
wouldn't just be going, I'm just going to go have a nap.
No, they're in for the night.
They're getting right in under the reed beds. They're fully set. They'll read a fucking little story or something and just nod off.
Yeah. Crack the sads when they wake up for a piss. Like it'll be...
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, you're not catching them at night.
No, they're asleep, mate.
No, they're well and truly asleep. I wonder, and I don't know. I mean, some of the big liverboard boats up north, but I wonder how those reef species, what they're doing at night. Like,
do you know what they're doing at night? Hiding. I feel as though nighttime's not really a friend of a reef-dwelling species.
But where's a big GT hiding? Where's a big fat coral trout? I mean, they'll just find a spot under a ledge.
Yeah,
but
GT's
do you know what I'm
a good
saying?
one. Yeah.
Because the doggies come out at night and they just fuck everything in their sight.
What does a bluefin do at night?
Oh, it's not bad.
Because we know bluefin are a species...
by a commercial trawler.
Because we know bluefin they have to keep moving. They don't not swim. They don't just park on the bottom for a little bit like a trout. They'll they have to keep moving. So
it's not bad.
Imagine how stressed out a tuna would have to be because it can't rest.
No. Yeah.
Imagine the only way you could rest was to walk. That's your slowest speed, is walking.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, needed that.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's a solid recovery, walking for 3 days.
But imagine one of these tuna sort of, the IQ penny just drops and they just go, I need to stop. And then mates go, hey, you can't. You'll cook.
Yeah, that's right. Just stop. And then is that...
You just go belly up.
I won't say that.
But it's a good call. I mean, and it's a funny one because we certainly don't want to encourage people to go flying out into the middle of the ocean at night at random
Yeah.
trying to catch tuna. But
I'd rather
it's
beach fish than that.
Would you? Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ, you don't want to go out there in the middle of the night. But it's fascinating though. Like, who's to say that they're not chewing their absolute faces off?
They could be. They could be because we're not going to go. Like,
I feel like sharks in general are
They're a
certainly
nighttime.
active at night.
yeah,
Like that's the time where you'll see them come right into the shallows in the bay or wherever, and whether it's a bronzy or a, like you said, gummy and schoolies and all that. I feel like that's probably. I wonder what. Yeah, but I don't know if that's the same with all like makos and that. Are they sort of on the hunt at night? I feel like that with their big eyes, they might fall into that sort of description as well. Calamari, there's certainly no. You can whack the shit out of them at night.
Well, I put calamari in a unique class of fish.
Yeah.
So these you've got calamari, garfish, yakkers, maybe slimies.
Oh, so
You
bait.
know, there's a theme. Yeah.
Bait.
Then I wouldn't. They show signs of not being the most intelligent form of sea-dwelling creature because it could be in the middle of the night and all you got to do is put a light on. They're like, fuck, it's daytime over here. Hey, everybody, get over here.
It's so
It's
true.
pretty easy to trick them that it's daytime.
Yeah, like you're not having snapper swim up to your deck lights,
No.
or you yeah, no.
They're
your
sitting back going,
underwater light.
turn the light off.
Yeah, or they're sitting there going, yeah, right, leave them on, bring that bait over. I'll just go up and wallop one.
Whereas all those species are going,
Party
oh,
time.
there's a patch of daytime. Let's
Yeah.
go.
They're pumped. They're like they're in Santiago in Chile, just having the time of
At
their life.
Pingers.
At Pingers.
Oh, yeah.
Pingers nightclub, I think it was called. But garfish, I mean, I just feel like, mate, if you're walking around with a lip that size, like it's a tough life from the start. You know what I'm saying?
If you've got a lip that size, do you reckon it's a I'm shy and I need to hide, or it's a like
Take me.
it's a big dick move where they swim around thinking that
maybe.
they're awesome.
Oh, so the bigger the bill.
No,
so
but
to
just
speak.
like no one's got that lip, so they're like,
check it out.
Everyone wants it.
But then a marlin shows up and goes, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, that's like but there's always a little person that's thinks they're
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, small poppy syndrome.
yeah.
Maybe, but yeah, no, it's a fair call. There is that. There are some species that'll but also squid and garfish. I just think it's a day night whatever type situation.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
They're not too fast. They don't realise it's day or night. They just
All right, so what are we saying? We're sort of saying that there's a few species that tend to bite better. Impoundment barra at night, Murray cod, impoundment cod,
Yep.
night. Certainly big, big models.
Sharks, so gummy
Sharks,
or whatever.
Yep. Snapper have
Snapper,
every right to
yeah,
put up
I'm-
their hand and say I'm a night feeder as
Yeah,
well.
I'm on the fence with snapper though.
Is there an option, just thinking about Port Phillip Bay or places like that are more difficult to fish at night just because of things like factors like sea lice or whatever it is, does that bring jigging and soft baiting back into the mix? Do you think they'd be on the hunt or they'd be actively sort of being predatory enough to smack a moving object like that?
Do something like a snapper. Say the sea lice are real thick. Do they have to keep moving? How long does a snapper need to not swim before sea lice start to eat it? Imagine that as an existence. A snapper's got to pretend it's a bluefin for 8 hours because sea lice will eat it otherwise.
And then during the day, they're just getting hammered by 700 boats sitting over the top of them. It's not a great life
It's rough, isn't it?
for a snapper in Port Phillip Bay.
Yeah, it's rough.
They've picked the wrong bay. Go live offshore.
In all seriousness, though, I wonder how long a snapper needs to, or anything needs
Just
to
anything,
not swim
yeah.
for. Do you reckon even sea lice see a toadie and go, that's shit?
Nah, yeah, nah. Hey boys, this one's moving slow. Let's have a crack. No, it's a toadie.
It's not.
Oh yeah, no, fair call. Move on. Toadies are just going, oh come on, like
Yeah,
have a
what's
crack
wrong?
at me.
Yeah, that's right. Feeling all left out.
I don't know. It's I think that there's some species that probably don't get targeted at night that could be really good. You know
I
what
reckon
I'm saying?
Aussie bass would be one of them.
I'm sure there's people out there. They clearly won't message us because you know what they're like.
bass
There's
fishermen.
people. I reckon there's definitely people out there hitting them with top water at night.
Yeah.
That'd be cool because you're not really...
Yeah, not just top water, but they're physically more active of a night time.
Yeah, okay.
Because I feel as though they should be.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Their whole makeup makes them look like they should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And dewies, we said, is probably
dewies.
one that you could... I mean, it's certainly not exclusive to nighttime captures, but yeah. Anyway. All right, so let us know what species, in your opinion out there in Instagram land, fish better at night.
Yeah, I like it. Let us know.
Be good to see. And give us some experiences. You know, if you've... Snapper are fascinating. I still think there's an epic fishery in Western Port to be had.
Yeah.
Late after, or you know, once the sun's dipped, so it'll be dark, or in that top end shallows on lures like top water lures.
Yeah, I'm
telling you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. So we're going to do. We've got a bit to go through there. Hey, we should shout out two ads because I feel like we heard about this recently, and it's worth a shout out because you and I have had a little bit of a history in this. For those for those who know it, I mean, most people probably know Fishing Monthly.
Yep.
Is a magazine that is obviously, as the name suggests, monthly magazine.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Is finishing up. So the end of this year, I think December will be the final issue of the Fishing Monthly magazine. So it's kind of like and I know there's people listening also who have contributed to Fishing Monthly over the years. You and I have, when it was VFM, when they were separated by state and there was the individual state magazines.
They would have to be. Would you say they'd have to be the most successful printed publication around fishing ever?
Oh, Jesus. I mean...
It'd have to be pretty close.
Yeah. Be up there.
There's been some long-running and really good publications over the years.
Yeah.
VFM, or as we knew it at the time, VFM, which then transitioned to Fishing Monthly, is a flat-out institution of recreational fishing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because you pull it, you break it apart, and there were feature articles written by some great writers over the years with some good imagery, and then there was specific reports for certain regions and areas, which was always good. Which I think you do. What did you look after when you were doing reports? Was it because I think we were doing it at a similar time, but I might have been doing the
I had a part of Western Port.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't remember if it was top end. I think it was Southern Western Port because I think Jared Day had top end Western Port. I had the other Western Port. Whatever Jared had, I had the other one for a little bit. Quite a few years actually.
Yeah. So it's a sign of the times. I think we've spoken about it on here that there's just not many print magazines left.
No.
At all. And that's just the way the digital world is going and the way that people consume their media now. It's all changed. So I hats off to everyone who's ever been involved in Fishing Monthly. Obviously, Steve Morgan has been at the helm for, I don't even know how long, Ad. You might have more of an idea than me, but a fair while now since he brought it out. Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but a long time.
And there's just been so many regular contributors and some come and go. But it's always one that you were happy just to grab and pick up and have a flick through. And even still, like I said, I think December is the last issue. But
it's weird, isn't it? Because it just turned up every month. It's
just normal.
Fishing Monthly. That's just what it did.
That's what it did. I think it did it. When did it go to just the one? Was it just during COVID or just?
Yeah, I think that was a
COVID
result
thing.
of COVID.
Because there was obviously. Yeah, VFM and South Australia and New South Wales. Yeah, so it was all Queensland, everything. But I think that combining...
Just on that, VFM, Victorian Fishing Monthly, that had the best sound to it.
It sounded the best.
QFM sounds weird.
No, sounds like a
what
AM
do you do?
radio station.
NSW, like NSW FM sounds weird. VFM sounds legit.
Yeah.
TFM, weird.
No, I'm with you.
SAFM, weird.
Yeah. Tell us, get in touch. Tell us we're wrong.
Yeah, we won't get any messages because we're not wrong.
No. Do you remember? So anyway, so to round that out, shout out to everyone involved. What a great effort, and it's not because it's a flop. It's still very very popular. I think it's not a bad call to sort of go out while you're on top and while you're still in good form, so to speak. So yeah, it'll be good to see what's coming next. I'm sure that like as we know, there's plenty of digital areas to consume, content. So it's not going to be a shortage of any of that. But
there'll be no shortage of content.
There's a bit of a tradition that's a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say this one does feel a little bit. Yeah, this one.
Yeah,
it feels like it should always be there.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Fishing Monthly. It feels like it should be there.
There's a few that have disappeared over the last few years, and with the print version of Fishing World, but even scaling it back a bit to more regional. Do you remember Southeast and West?
Yes,
Fishing?
I do. Yeah, I do. I 100% do. You used to write for that. You wrote for that for years, didn't you?
I did. That was one of my main ones that I sort of did regularly. Just for God knows, like a few years now. Yeah, but that was a smaller format, sort of much more regionally specific reports based thing with a few features. But yeah, there'd been, was it Fish Life? Was that one?
That was was that the one that was heavily based around
imagery? Yeah.
That was almost Instagram before Instagram.
It was the print version of Instagram. That's what it was.
Yes.
That didn't last all that long, though, from memory. Did it?
No, because it came pretty late to the party.
Yeah, right.
Great magazine, though.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, and obviously there was a couple of mags out of the AFN stable too. So there's,
which I think, is freshwater fishing still going? That's still going, isn't it?
Might be, yeah. But there was saltwater, wasn't there?
Yeah, there
was
water.
Blue water? Saltwater?
Blue water magazine. There was blue water.
Yeah. So many mags. Remember that there was a time when, and probably going back it doesn't feel like that long ago, but where they were just stacked up every month on your desk.
Yeah.
Weren't they? It was great.
Go to the news agents and... the news agents, yeah. See, there's another...
Well, what do they do? What's a news agent now? What are they doing? What are they selling?
Pens and Tats Lotto tickets, scratchies and shit.
And juicy fruit chewing gum.
Yeah, juicy fruit.
And that's it. So there's like a table of pens, some juicy fruit, and scratchies. Fuck. I don't know. That's the most solid business model. Don't know. But hey, they're still going. So hats off to you.
Do you know what else I used to really enjoy from a good news agent? Guitar mags. Did you buy music mags?
Absolutely, I did. Heavy. What was the heavy metal mag?
There was Kerrang.
Yes.
Guitar
Kerrang.
World.
Guitar World. I got Guitar World and Kerrang.
They were the two.
And I feel like this
was
is
another
still around. This is the Australian sort of gig guide type Beat magazine.
Beat magazine.
That was free. It was free.
That was a freebie. Yeah,
to get it at the train station and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if Beat magazine is still kicking around. I feel like they are. Anyway, I'll look into it. But Kerrang had the posters.
The posters, yeah, that's
middle.
right.
Oh, so good. I reckon everyone was rocking a poster from that. Soundgarden or James Hetfield. You know what I mean? Like it was that was wicked. Nowadays, though, it's just the deep drop fishing tunes on Spotify.
Yeah, that's where you go for all your...
By the way, no shit, I can't get sick of it. It's the best playlist. And if you just hit shuffle on that bad boy, you're just never disappointed.
Did you have it going in the yak the other day?
Yeah. Oh, just on my phone. Yeah, I didn't take that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I normally do when I'm snapper fishing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's why I haven't caught maybe they don't like metal.
Going for a walk, going for a run, whatever. But it's just, it's banger after banger.
Yeah.
And I feel like we could add so much more to it as well. Anyway.
That's Kerrang.
They're still, that's the thing too. News agents used to have the full, and I haven't been into a news agent for God knows how long, but there was full walls of magazines.
Yep.
Everything, surfing,
everything you could think
motorbike, whatever, cars. There
Pop
were a heap of
culture,
car
like-
mags. From memory.
cars huge.
Yeah. Yeah,
Boating had its own little
boating had its thing
section.
for a
It
bit.
wasn't really part of the fishing thing.
Hunting?
It had its own little thing. Yeah, hunting.
Yeah, and then there was the pop culture stuff, and there was always I suppose they're still. Well, I don't know. Are they still a thing?
You see, like the women's trash mags and shit.
Yeah.
You see them at like Coles and Woolies.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if they're there, like no one's going into a newsagent's to buy one of them.
Nah.
Yeah. Anyway, maybe we should
Good times.
start a mag. Geez, you'd be game to.
We've got a long list.
I mean,
stuff to do.
so Hooked Up is still going.
Yep.
And it's a free. So it's the beat of fishing.
Correct.
That's what it is.
It is.
Can you get gig? Is there a gig guide in Hooked Up?
They have all. Well, they have all the Do they have all the ABT results and stuff in it?
I think that, or maybe that was Fishing Monthly. I don't
Fishing
know, but
Monthly
maybe.
did.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's still there. And that's good. It's good to have something on it.
Yeah.
As a bit of a. When was the last time a fish show released a book?
This is
I
a
had
great
heaps of
question. I feel see. Deep down, I probably know it's not. But why do I feel as though there's still room for a book?
What sort of book? Like an
See,
information
this is the thing.
type book, or is it like a?
Yeah, but I feel as an information type book. No one's buying that shit.
Nah, that's what I mean. Could you put a book? Let's say, and this is where I think what it would have to be. It would have to be a fairly large format,
Yep.
like coffee table style book. You know what I mean by that, where people
Yep.
actually have them on
Yep.
display, and unbelievable imagery. So could it be we were talking about the film festival last week, and the encouraging people to create amazing content to submit to a short film festival or whatever it is. Same thing. Like, could it just be someone who just goes, I'm going to put together a book and lean on half a dozen photographers / anglers? You know what I mean? So it's and just I guess pull together 100 of our most epic fishing photos, and there's a short story attached to it, like a one pager. You know what I mean? That's talking to that image, because every image has got a. You think about what's one of the images that always comes to mind that would have an unbelievable story, and we've heard it from Al, is that the marlin getting chewed by a mako shark. Like,
Yep.
bang, there's a page and there's a story attached to it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I wonder what sort of scope there was. Do you know what was? Because remember when Worsling did the Fisherman's Bucket List? That was pretty cool as a
Yep. Good
exactly
concept.
that coffee table. Just
Yep.
pick it up and flick to any page. You don't have to sit down and read it, but there was a little bit of a purpose. Got you sort of
Yep.
thinking. There were some photos, some how to achieve whatever species it was. I'm trying to think of what format for a book could work in fishing where it would be kind of worth it.
Like, there's a, because I've got one and it's probably a few years old, but it might be 50 or 100 the greatest albums of all time, and there's some cool images in there and a bit of a spiel about the album and the artist and all that sort of thing. What if it was just, like I said, it would take a bunch of people to help put it together, because you couldn't just go and shoot all those images yourself, and a lot of it's opportunity based. But if you put together, the top 50 fish species in Australia or whatever, and each of them just had this epic image, and then might be a couple of smaller ones, but a bit of a story about each or something, or about that particular moment and who captured that shot.
Do you reckon? Just a little bit off topic, but not really.
That's what we do. It's on brand.
Do you reckon there was a knot that Jeff Wilson never covered in a book?
FG? Did he do FG?
Maybe.
Bit post Jeff Wilson publications, if PR, Bob and not. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, did he do that?
Yeah, I wonder.
And on are we past publishing an almanac? Like,
Yeah.
do we
Yeah.
need times and
Nah, we've got it. It's called an iPhone.
it's called a phone?
Or a phone.
Yeah.
smartphone.
Hey, I'm not shitting on you if you're doing it. I know,
I don't know, though.
AFN produce that stuff all the time. And,
Yeah, but-
Bill's build
does it-
a business around that stuff.
But does it seem like the right thing to do to have an almanac in your boat? Have you ever fished via an almanac?
No, and maybe I
There you
should.
are. That's an experiment that we should put on our
Purely
Nuts.
just go off an almanac.
just the almanac.
Don't
Like
wa-
one day we'll have enough time. We might be retired, but
Yes.
we'll have enough time to
My
plan
first year
trips
of
around an almanac.
retirement. My first year of retirement is just going to be flicking through an almanac and going, "Oh,
And
it's time."
here's the window. Here's the window.
You'd spend a lot of time not fishing because the almanac says don't.
It would be interesting to fish on some of the nights where the almanac says it's going to be shit,
Yeah.
and just see.
Well, because then you've got something to blame.
Yeah, correct. But just to see, because we've got a million, and I won't get into it because it's a whole new podcast, a whole another podcast worth of shit. But there's so many factors on why we can't catch fish. We've been through them all on this pod.
Yeah, and there's still more to come.
Yeah, but the almanac's an interesting one.
But what about that? Like if it was just mint conditions, sun's out, your mate ring, mate, let's go, let's jump in the boat, let's go for a fish, and you just go, hang on.
No.
Nah.
Or, yeah, what time do you want to go?
Yeah.
Oh, no, meet you at the ramp at 7? Oh,
It says here
Can I-
8:30.
yeah. Can we push it out a little bit? Don't want to waste any time.
Yeah. Oh, but just let me check the moon. Don't worry about the moon. No,
Yeah,
no,
no.
I have to. What are you talking about? Of course I'm checking the moon. Okay. We have to be. What time do you want to get on? And then if you ask the person with the almanac, what time do you want to hit the water, mate? 1:26.
Yeah.
Why? Because it says so.
It's the prime time.
Yeah. Does anyone fish? That's a question I think we should put to the listeners. Does anyone
Almanac.
use an almanac? Legitimately use an almanac?
Yeah, like swears
Like
by
not
it.
just look at the tide chart. Like go off because it tells you bite times, right? It says the best.
Yeah, like the best window, like the bite window.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't ever done it.
Nah, me either. Me either.
It seems a bit redundant in 2024. That's all I'll say.
I don't know. I feel as though it's a solid retirement gift.
Do you think so? It's not
Yeah.
bad, actually.
Yeah. You've just retired. Someone sings you an almanac.
Hands
You'll
it
need
over.
this.
Yeah, enjoy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will enjoy that. I'll sit in my rocking chair and have my
Plan
second
on
cup
when I
of
go
tea for the
fishing.
day.
Yeah.
I'm not up early because I don't need to be.
Yeah,
Because
that's
the
right.
almanac says it's a 1:26 p.m. bite. I'll launch at 12:04. Anchors down at 1.
Yeah.
And I'll set the baits.
Yeah. Fish till,
2.
2:32.
Yeah. Because does the almanac say the worst times?
Well, it gives you the window, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it tells you the window. Yeah. So if once that window's closed,
Mate, pack
go
that
home.
shit up. It's not
go
happening.
to the pub. It's bowls night tonight. All right. Well, let's get ourselves an almanac and study it. But I think we've got some questions to get through there. Ads. What fish species are better for fishing for at night?
Yep.
Bite better at night.
Good one.
Does anyone use an almanac?
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. Genuinely interested in that. Chefs.
Yeah, reach out.
Reach
Chefs,
out.
please.
Chefs reach out. And I just had a note here because we are going to add it to the list, the jighead challenge, Adam. Coloured
Yep.
versus non-coloured. And just see. Because I think that's a
Yeah.
good way to do it. If you're both standing next to each other, using
That's
the
the way
same
to go,
plastic.
Yes.
Okay. All right, good. Plenty to get through. You have yourself a wonderful week. And to everyone out there listening, thanks for being a part of it. It's a bloody journey. We love it. And we love you being a part of it. Isn't that right?
We do. The deepdrop.au.
Yes. Merch.
Go and grab a new combo. It's worth
Be
it.
also good to shut management up. To say, we sold 20 this week. Back off. You know?
They won't back off.
No, they won't back off. You're right. Jeez, I'm a bit worried. If he's out clubbing at a nightclub called Pinger, or whatever it was called, in South America. Some shit goes down there. We might not see him again.
Fucking fantastic.
You need to work on your relationship with them. And anyway, all right, we'll see you again next week. Thanks, Ads.
Peace.